Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the Future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
Wow.
Alright, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
And I'm Veronica.
And we talk about everything pop culture, dating, and Bachelor.
This episode, we are covering Kim and Kanye separating, Harry Styles finding his Olivia, and the current state of our nation, and Matt's Bachelor season premiere.
And this is episode 146. Yeah. Third anniversary episode. Let's get it. Yo, I'm going to give her a round of applause.
For real. I mean, we deserve it.
I don't know. You wrote it down, so I said it.
I said we deserve it.
We do deserve it. All right,
Like,
cool. Pat ourselves in the back, but, we're going to keep this moving because there ain't no stopping this party. V, how have you been? How was the end of your year into the new year?
It was a little blurry.
Oh.
I'll be honest. It was a little blurry for all of us, but it was good. I mean, we celebrated New Year's Eve together, as part of our apartment crawl.
Which I think it was a success, right?
Huh?
It was a success, right? I mean, we all got lit.
I think it was a success.
Pop
I feel
bottles of
like,
champagne.
everybody had a good time. There were some tears shed as their emotions were high, but that was expected. And, it wasn't a bad situation, I don't think, but...
Well, I had a good time. New Year's was definitely lit. I was specifically excited because I had my friends AJ and Jackson. AJ coming from Orlando, Jackson coming from New York City. So that was awesome, just having them both here. It's been a while since I've had visitors. So we've been, and Jackson's still here, so we are probably gonna go out after recording this show. But it's been awesome, man. It's been a good new year. I'm enjoying it so far. What you been getting into? Anything yet?
I took a day, honestly. I mean, so the new year for me is a lot. I feel like I like to get everything in order.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually a little pissed that my new planner is not here yet, but that will be amended very soon. And once I get it, it will be great. But, I did a nice full self-care day on New Year's Day. Partially because I was pretty hungover for part of the day, and then partially because I'm never this lazy. Let me actually take a bath with my bath bombs that I have and do some skincare and watch a lot of the new season, which I'll get into for what I watched. Watch a lot of TV and do stuff like that. So I did that, and then that kind of carried a little bit into the weekend because we got some cake and wine at Cafe Intermezzo, which was a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite places to treat myself. So it was a, nice little gentle start so far. Now shit's just kind of hitting the fan, but we're gonna get there.
I saw you that night. That wasn't a gentle start, I would feel. Well, I honestly, before even New Year's, because it was we had gone out the night before New Year's, I had gone straight hard for 4 or 5 days, and I can't believe I'm survived. I think it's the working out, because legit, even though I do those, I still got up and ran every day and just sweated out of myself. So I felt fine the next night by the time we would roll into it. But you just have your friends here, and it's really easy to get lazy on after the first, second night and just give up and just be lazy with each other. So we just took the mornings to be lazy, and then would actually go out and try to grab a drink in the neighborhood or something like that. But something I did do actually was kind of my my New Year's resolution was I'm going to become an actor. And yeah.
Give me some details about that. I'm intrigued.
I mean, as far as the details is, I just every year I try to kind of throw another thing that is what I'd always want to do, or try to try something new. Last year was really just kind of getting back on my fitness, and that was in a goal of possibly being on TV. That's why I started. But then as it went on, I was TV is actually something that I would love to do. I'm so into TV shows and stuff, and and I feel nowadays they're picking more and more diverse characters and actors, and And for whatever reason, like, you know, I get into acting, but I also feel like, you know, I want to get into roles that are like kind of naturally me already, you know, and figuring out that balance and stuff, and figuring out what things I don't know about acting. Like so I researched of like, you know, and also we live here in Atlanta, which is like one of the best places, you know, people come, they change their whole lives to move to places like Atlanta so they can, you know, have their acting career and stuff. And I just want to take advantage of that. So
Yeah, the Hollywood of the South. So
yeah. So I have a friend that's an actor, and he, you know, I told him I was like my interest in it, and you know what the steps are, you know what the steps he took, because he's in TV shows and stuff. So you know he gave me some advice, and I asked for like some classes and stuff that he had taken, and he suggested one that I signed up for. It's a 6-week course over the next 6 weeks.
Look at that.
So paid for, signed up, starts next Tuesday, and I think it's the beginning of a long journey towards becoming an actor, but it ain't gonna stop. Like after that class, it's the next class, and then the next class, the next class, and you start throwing like casting calls in there, and eventually after maybe I land something and my resume's looking good, then the agent starts coming into play, and then the agent steps you up into better like roles and stuff, and then your boy's just off. You know?
Yeah.
I got goals. I got, you know, and I'm just manifesting it all. And I'm going to work hard for it. I don't think it's just going to come easy, but like, you know.
Of course, yeah.
I'm taking the first steps, you know? So.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited about what, you know, is going to come of all that. So. Also, I just wanted to do something new and put myself out there, meet some new people that are like interested in things that I'm interested in too. And networking is like, I figured it's the best way to network is to like go do something that you're interested in doing and meeting new people.
That is definitely the best way to do it. How else are you going to meet people who like the same shit if you're not doing the same shit?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So I'll probably need your shoulder to cry on once in a while if I don't get these casting
when you get
calls.
rejected.
Yeah. Or, you know, someone to celebrate with when I get my first show at my first casting call. That'd be crazy.
There you go.
But I guess while we're on the topic of TV, we might as well ask you the question I always need to ask you. What are you watching? Please tell me. It's not with me on it yet, but it will be one day.
On New Year's Eve, Netflix dropped Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 4, which is the final part because they're canceling the show unless it gets picked up by like HBO Max or something, which my fingers are crossed because the show is incredible. I love it. I've been watching, obviously I've watched all the other seasons. I love the actors in it. I just love the whole vibe of it. It's very creepy. Honestly, this season was very high stress. Like I watched it all in like probably like 2 days or so. And I remember I was just like sitting, like I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Is it a popular show? Like, do people talk about it? Is it?
Yes.
Because I knew it was like the first, maybe second season, but then they started dropping like the holiday special, and I didn't see much interest of it after that. Like I knew they were trying to like capitalize off like the Riverdale crowd and stuff. Is that still going? Is that show still going?
Yeah, Riverdale is still going. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the writers for Sabrina are much better than the writers for Riverdale. But I have to give Sabrina some credit because they do a really great job of like intertwine, like they like do little Riverdale like Easter eggs and stuff, because Greendale is the town that Sabrina is set in, and it's the neighboring town to Riverdale, so there's definitely like some little baby crossovers there.
Speaking of crossovers, I did read something about a crossover in that show where they actually had the aunts from the Melissa Joan Hart Sabrina a Teenage Witch in the show, right?
They do. So yeah, so that is, they have, from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the show with Melissa Joan Hart, they have the, the aunts, that the woman who played, Aunt Hilda and Aunt Zelda on that show in a specific episode.
Do they play themselves?
They play Aunt Hilda.
So it's like a multiverse
Zelda.
of this shit happening?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
My
Actually,
God.
literally there is a multiverse kind of thing happening.
Shit.
So
that's awesome.
But yeah, it's a great show.
So they connected the worlds.
I love it. I'm sad that it's over. Hopefully it's not over, but
Well, that's what's up. Well, I guess I might as well tell you what I've been watching.
Yeah, what have you been watching?
Well, because AJ was here, he was telling me about the show Power. And,
yeah.
I listened to a podcast that was talking about Power all the time, and I was like, all right, well, he's here. When you have a friend here and you want to watch something that they're gonna be interested in, and like at least. Be lazy with watching whatever they want to watch. So he picked Power, and then I got into it, and then I got to like the second season.
Power is a fucking trip. I haven't watched in a long time. I used to watch it religiously with my mother.
Oh wow, holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I know it gets kind of crazy towards the later seasons, I heard, like kind of ridiculous, but these first, I mean, the action and like the storyline so far, it's a little annoying, and I can see how it will get way more annoying down the road. But the first and second season I've enjoyed so far, so that's what I've been watching. But
Well, because now they have like a spin-off, like whatever it's called.
they got
it's
like
called,
two spin-offs. They
Ghost.
got like the Power
it's called
Book
Ghost, and they have like kind of spin-offs of other stuff with
50 Cent's character.
Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting show. You get pissed at the different characters though, because you're like, why are you so dumb?
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I probably didn't get into it before, but that's what I've been watching. So I might as well get into I don't know. We do it. Quick hits. What do we got for some quick hits, V?
Well, I'm pretty sure I need to double check our spreadsheet, but I think we predicted this. Kim and Kanye are about to be donezo.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We knew. I mean,
we've been new. We've been new, and some people are like really upset about it. And I think where I land with it is I kind of can't believe it's happening now. I would have thought it would have happened maybe a year or so ago, or I would have thought that like they would have waited out like a little bit longer. Right now feels like a weird time, but I mean,
I think they're taking the entanglement route where like they probably made a plan and had a plan to like let it linger for a long time. They probably been separated for a while, and now the news is coming out. You think it just happened yesterday or something like that? No, this is like the way
I think it's just been brewing. I don't know if they've been fully separated because it hasn't been filed or anything yet.
No, I mean, but you can like you can look at like Will and Jada. They never got divorced or anything like that, but they still within their marriage like looked outside their marriage for like other shit. I'm not saying this is like an outside of marriage thing, but they might have figured out a way to live their lives and coexist in a marriage without actually being around each other, and not like that's a real marriage, but it's like as far as for the public eye, it's like, all right, well, it looks like Kanye's living over here and Kim's doing it over here. It's like, well, the obvious is that they're not in a happy marriage. It just like doesn't look like that, and I don't know. I just feel like I'm not one to be surprised by this at all. I'm more excited to see how it shakes out. Like it's like this type of stuff has a fallout like no other. You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah, and like when it comes to their money, like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who's going to get more money from this. Like, will Kim get more because she's probably going to be taking care of the kids more? Mm-hmm. Like, will he get more? Whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't know who really has more money at this juncture. But one other thing that kind of is a weird rumor that was started on TikTok which has absolutely no evidence of being true, is that Kanye West and known beauty YouTuber Jeffree Star had a side romance, which I really don't like. Some TikToker who's known for being kind of like a troll started this rumor.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
a rumor.
Kind of
I know Jeffree Star joked back with him on a text, like someone asked him and was
being like, yeah, Wyoming's great. Like,
yeah. So it was sarcastic, obviously, but people want to run with this, especially when, Kim and Kanye news just dropped. But along with that and other music news, like yesterday was kind of like a little crazy. I can't believe, the resolution has already been like, coming from Dr. Dre. But, yesterday there was news and reports that, he had been rushed to hospital because of a brain aneurysm. And, those are, whenever I hear that, it's like really serious for me because that's the way my dad passed. And I know how quickly, that type of stuff can, take someone's life. And so it's just like, but Dr. Dre has the best money he can buy, medical, stuff. So I'm sure they already sent the tweet out like from his account. Now, I don't know if it's him or like somebody.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that it was him just because like of his probably current state. They said that he was lucid, but I don't really think he's out here like typing out like a paragraph tweet. But he like it was sent out from his account saying that, he was doing fine and that he, he's been getting great care at Cedars-Sinai and all that kind of stuff, that he'll be home soon, which unfortunately, while he was in the hospital, some there was an attempted burglary at his home. So people are out. People know no bounds. People know no bounds. That's just low. To be like, he's on his deathbed. Let me go and burglarize his home.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. But it's not like anyone was going to get away with that. Like Dr. Dre probably lives in a compound. So good luck. Yeah. What else we got?
So Harry Styles is off the market, which makes me sad.
So let's go back a little bit, because this story actually starts with something you broke a couple of weeks ago, right? When you told us about Olivia Wilde doing a new movie, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't you talk about that? Or did I read about that?
Yes, I did, because Harry took the role that Shia LaBeouf was supposed to have in this movie. I think it's called something, Don't Worry, Darling. Mm-hmm. And so that they were filming that movie, I think, mostly in the late fall. So I think it's pretty much done being filmed now. And people are speculating that actually they maybe started low key seeing each other back closer to that time. But because she has broken up with, Olivia Wilde was dating Jason Sudeikis for 8-9 years. They were together for 8-9 years.
I forgot about that. First of all, Jason Sudeikis was the hottest thing for a second, which I didn't get. But yeah. So why did they break up?
I don't know. I think it was just
when did they break up?
They broke up. I'm trying to look. It literally was last year, I think. Which that gets confusing now, because it's when is last year in our brains? 2020, 2019?
And also, I'm sure, Harry Styles is just getting into his acting career. I know he's been in, big movies and stuff before, but, he doesn't want to be known as, the actor that gets roles because he was given it by his girlfriend,
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they try to not let that get out, even if it was. But it's Harry Styles, you know what I'm saying? It's Olivia Wilde. Come on. Olivia Styles? That sounds crazy.
It sounds great. Well, because One Direction had a song called Olivia, and Harry sings on it.
I love that song.
Yeah,
that was one of the first songs that I started listening to them and stuff. But
yeah, so it's kind of ironic, and also
wow, that is crazy.
It's kind of interesting because back when the whole Harry Styles on the cover of Vogue in a dress thing happened, that's only a month or two ago now at this point. Candace, what's her fetch, that crazy conservative pundit, she had tweeted whatever, and Olivia Wilde had replied being you're disgusting.
Yeah.
And then Candace had replied back to that being well, no wonder why you're single. And now it's she's dating Harry Styles.
Yeah, she was standing up for her man.
Candace.
she was just a ride or die. Candace. Anyways, anything? What else we got on this list?
We have a couple of sad deaths of kind of old school stars. So Dawn Wells, aka Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island, which I have a very weird connection to.
Really?
Because for Girl Scouts we had a yearly little show that we would put on, and one year our theme was shipwrecked, and so we did Gilligan's Island song that went into something else that went into whatever, and so my friend was Mary Ann. I think I was the millionaire.
Man, I used to watch that show so much growing up. It was once was a man who lives a trip, let's a 54. But I remember when it got to the point where it was saying all the character, it was Gilligan, the skipper, to the millionaire and his wife.
Millionaire. I was the millionaire. The millionaire and his wife.
The movie star.
And the movie star. Yeah.
And Marianne. So I got, because when I'm singing things on this stuff, we're gonna sound super delayed. So thanks a lot for that. But
I know, I'm sorry.
All right, but also you can't help but sing along with things. That's just a thing you do. But it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But on delays,
I usually stop. But how can I not sing along to the Gilligan's Island theme?
All right, I'll just take another 20 minutes to line us up. But Marianne and the professor get cut off on on later episodes of the show. So it's like the movie star and the rest. That was hard to say. The professor and Marianne. Come on. But I always thought Marianne was hotter than Ginger, anyways. So. Rest in peace, Marianne. And then also Tanya Roberts, who played Midge in that 70s show, also a Bond girl, which is the reason why she was picked to be like, in that 70s show, has passed away, which is sad because that's like the second person that has passed away from that show, or maybe even third. But
oh, jeez.
yeah, I mean, the girl that played her daughter, or no, it wasn't the girl that played the daughter, was it? That died? Oh, it was Eric's sister in the show, the first girl that played the sister in the show that died. So rest in peace to her. What made you go yikes this week, V?
I can't do a cute. I can't do a cute yikes. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay. There's just no way for me to do a cute yikes. We are recording this on Wednesday, January 6th, and literally hours ago, or just even up until this point, there's probably still some people in the Capitol. There have been Trump supporters / I don't even know, domestic terrorists is probably the best way to describe them, who fully took over the Capitol building. Today, January 6th, was when Congress was in session, doing pretty much like a formal thing where like it's counting the electoral college votes and like getting pretty much like confirming the election. And so they were protesting it, saying stop the steal, because there's still people in this world that believe that the Constitution system that is being put in place to uphold the sanctity of our election is not truthful, because of our soon-to-be former president Trump, because he incites this out of people, because he has fully gone to his Twitter saying how it's fraudulent, and he even said Pence didn't stand up for what is right, and instead let them whatever these fraudulent votes. Like, Pence is literally there to count the electoral college votes, the literal votes that we have that are certified. Anyways, they fully busted through any sort of security at the Capitol building. The senators and stuff like that had to be had to be locked down, had to be barred into different rooms, things like that. And they pushed their way through. It was honestly, for me to watch it and for me to see how little, like, if there's fucking pictures and videos of security guards and police officers taking selfies with these people instead of like actually doing things. It's horrifying to see after like a summer full of actual like peaceful protests, who people were getting shot with rubber bullets and things like that, to then see how differently these actually violent people are being treated. So it's kind of crazy to think that this is what's happening in America. It's shocking, yet not surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what much to say about it because I haven't really, between work and the pod, like, I haven't really caught up with the news. I did see a couple headlines and I watched a little bit of live, but it looked crazy. And for anybody that's talking about like riots or like, or people's talking about looting and stuff like this, this is way worse. This is legit like a crime. Like this is terrorism. It's like terrorism.
It's terrorism, and it's an attempted coup. It's an attempted coup. It's like it's fully like incited by 45, incited by Trump to like. But also,
but it just sucks because like even in the news they'll call them like supporters of Trump or Trump supporters. But
they've been called like some people. They've been like, or just calling them like protesters.
Yeah, if it was any other race, like they would be like. There would be bodies all over the ground and stuff.
No, yeah, people would be dead. The only person that's dead, I think, is like somebody who one of these like these people shot in the building. Yeah. And I think an innocent person is dead.
I just I can't wait to hear like all the excuses the other side says about this, because if you're standing up for this has nothing to do with sides at this point. Actually, you're picking a side at this point. Like, there's no way you can say any of that is okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, civil, like, that's not the way we get things done in a democracy at all. And if you're gonna vote, like, and I'll do all that stuff, like, this is not like what you do. You don't vote and make it such a big deal and then go and like be like, oh, I don't believe it, and then try to like force your hand. And yikes, that's all I got to say on that. Like, we'll see how it all unfolds. I hope, there's no more casualties or no one gets hurt, because, that's first and foremost. But, yeah, that's a crazy way to start 2021. I'll tell you what.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's disgraceful, and honestly, it's disgusting. And that's all I can say. Let's get into something lighter.
This week on the premiere episode of The Bachelor, this podcast is a little crazy, right?
We do it all. I mean, we do it all.
Yeah, man. But I love it, and because this is kind of our lives. We're just talking about what's coming in and out of our information that we're getting and stuff. And I'm sure you guys that are listening are interested in what we're interested in. So we were interested in that, and now we're interested in this right now. And I watched. It wasn't last night. This past week on The Bachelor was very interesting, and I'm very excited to dive into our thoughts. Veronica, where do you want to start with this?
Let's just start. Let's start from the top. Okay. I have to be honest. I thought I watched it on YouTube TV, and I literally, I was ready to go, had my wine ready, and all of a sudden it just like opens on like somebody hopping out of a limo, and I fully was like, did I miss something? Did they?
Right.
The
right.
cold open
I thought
thing.
I got a weird feeling too, and then I saw the actual scene, and I'm like, why would you start this whole season off with just that clip? That's not even like. There were so many more clips I saw afterwards that I could have seen as like more interesting to start the show off with. Why would you start with the dildo clip or with the vibrator clip?
I don't know. So they did that, and then they go into like a nice long, beautiful intro to Matt James and his life and what he does with ABC Food Tours, and brings up him being mixed, and brings in his mom, who like asks him if he thinks he can be vulnerable and things like that.
Did they mention anything about the ABC Food Tours? I thought they only mentioned his like talking about charity and talking where going.
I mean, that's what it is. That's what ABC Food Tours is.
Oh,
he takes around underprivileged kids to see food and fitness.
So they didn't
what it
flex
is.
the name or anything like that.
No.
So okay. Interesting. It's just funny as an outsider that knows like those things. It didn't come off like that was the ABC Food Tour. It sounded like they painted it in a way like he goes out on his own and does this on the weekends. Like he doesn't get, I'm not saying he gets paid or anything like that, but there's exposure and probably benefits of like the program he's doing of the ABC Food Tours. But that's just me. No hate. Like if he's helping kids and stuff.
Yeah. So and then they he comes in, they show the beautiful Nemacolin, I don't know how to say it, resort, which honestly seems way less tacky than La Quinta.
Oh sure.
And it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's just so well done.
It's a good backdrop for him too. It's like the
so
white
pretty,
castle on his dark skin. I'm like, this is like popping right now.
Pop it. No, and because they filmed during the fall and stuff, it's like the leaves are. It's just got kind of that woodsy, kind of like folklore Evermore vibe, like Taylor Swift. Where you at, girl?
Willow.
But Chris Harrison and him have like a long sit down discussion about him being like new to the franchise, new to the experience, and also like what dating looks like for him, and like how he thinks, how it's going to look for him as the first Black Bachelor, and also because of the fact that he is mixed, he's biracial.
How do you think they handled this part? Because this had to be done. Like, it had to be. They had to somehow sneak in. Like, we picked a Black person for this episode. I knew they weren't going to say it in the intro, but they had Matt be like, "Hey, can I pull you to the side, Chris?" And then
let's talk about my feelings about
let me bring you into
race.
my chateau, and they bring him in, and really what I got from that sit down, more than just introducing him as the first Black Bachelor and the pressures of that, I guess, is more of like he was trying to get across. It felt like. He's like, Chris, I know I have a lot of pressures and I don't want to piss Black people off, but I think I might go for some of these like white girls too. Like, because I am white. Yeah. I'm white too. So like he's like right off the bat, you're just trying to like get the viewers to be like, I know you're here because I'm Black and you're cheering me on, but I know you're going to hate me when I start like sending home a couple of these Black girls. So it was just interesting to see how they like skirted around that and stuff. But But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. So they get him back out there. But what you're noticing by this point is this is the inexperience starting to show through. Actually, not like there's anything he said, but just the way he's acting. Like you could tell he's so nervous. And I know a lot of people are nervous, but like when you've been through it before, like the hardest part I think is coming out of the limo. And if you if you haven't even come out the limo and gone through that experience, that's like the advanced version of going through The Bachelor. Like, you know, I think, you know, you have more control as the Bachelor, I feel like, or the lead.
For sure. I mean, like everyone's there for you.
Right.
So like, so then like when you're in that position for the first time after like not being on the other side, I feel like you're like, oh shit, like
right. I'm just trying to say, like,
crazy.
you know, when he comes into the house, I know it's like we're skipping a bunch of like people coming into the house, but when he comes in the house and he prays and all the girls go crazy, I really just wonder if he was like actually a contestant and he got nervous and like made everyone pray and stuff like that, they would have made him look like a kook, like if he was like on the other side or something like that. And,
yeah, but because it's his show, like he can,
also,
you know.
how come they're framing religion like this for Matt James, but they didn't do this like in the Taisha like episode?
Yeah,
like,
and the Taisha thing. Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about that, and there's actually a lot of people who are like, you know, in the Bachelor Nation commentary, etc. sphere, have a lot of feelings about that as well. And I think it just, and there's actually a cool article written on Hey Alma, which is a Jewish related site, and they kind of like were like, so is The Bachelor now just a Christian show? Like, is it a Christian show? Because it seems like that's generally the kind of thing that they're pushing. Like, I think about Colton. I think about Taisha. I think about a lot of like the other people in these past shows. Like they've like either the leads or one of the like main people, like Christianity is kind of like
a Christian show, and I'll tell you why they started off.
It shouldn't be, but it's been pushing that narrative.
Listen, and I'll tell you why they started off with like, or they might have an agenda with like some type of religion like threaded into the show, and it's because it's the opposite of religion. It's the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing, like, you know, like trapping 30 girls into a house and just like letting and then picking whatever ones and, you know, serving them out, like, you know, and I know they all sign up for it, but it's just like it's just not like, it's not a Christian thing. You can't be like kissing one girl, you know, it doesn't align with the like the ideals of Christianity, I feel like. So just I think they try to be like, I just really don't think if you're lining yourself with like religion and stuff like that, this is not the process for you. Like, this is a very like, girls are throwing themselves at you. There's like obviously bikinis and sex and all this different stuff that I don't think like aligns with like church. And unless like you're trying to make this like a Christian mingle or something like that, like let's I mean, let's like keep it out of it. Like, I think,
yeah. So like my
thing
is
the
like,
ridiculous part was the girls reacting to it. It's like, give me a break. He said a freaking prayer, and that's what's making you wet here. Like, it's insane. Like, I
think it's just like not. First of all, like I don't think it's really fair that he did like a prayer to begin with. Like, I feel like with, you know, 32 girls that like you don't know their backgrounds, you don't know their thing, you don't really know anything about them, and you're gonna like kind of like put a prayer on them, which like without their consent really feels a little off to me.
Also think about the context of just saying a prayer before you're gonna like go into your harem of women. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a really weird concept, like, to me. But whatever. I
mean, like, the most religious people have harems of women, though. Think about that.
Dude,
like,
I don't give a shit. I'm just talking about The Bachelor. That's all I'm here to talk about. But anyways, let's move along. I guess we could go back to some of these entrances and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, go continue. My bad.
No, go. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna get way ahead of myself, but I'm saving that excitement for later.
So entrances happened, and as we know, this is my least favorite episode of any season. I hate limo entrances. I have to say, I feel like they kept their entrances decently low key. For instance, the only people who I felt like were very extra were like the Queen Victoria coming up on the whatever. Kit came in with her fucking Bentley and her weird ass feather dress and bad black booties. Don't know. She was really trying to push the New York City agenda, and I was not here for it. Kylie, I think. Kylie, I don't know. Was the one who walked up with her wardrobe and in like her little lingerie being all like, I'm here for you. So I thought I'd let you help pick what I'm going to wear, which like was ballsy, I have to say. It was pretty.
Did she end up staying?
Yeah, she does. She stays.
Luckily, because that would have sucked if she went home because of that move.
Yeah, no, that's pretty ballsy. And then obviously, the main thing that was the opening, and then they played it again at when she actually came out of the limo, like in the sequence of the show, was Katie and her purple vibrator that helped her get through quarantine, which was,
I just
the
can't
running.
stand the personality of a person that would come in thinking that was going to be the best. And also it does keep her around, which is, I mean, there's nothing more evident that at the end of this show, he obviously kept some people that like he didn't even want to keep around. That's for sure. Because there were some really great girls that like probably could have been picked there. There's no way that crown bitch stays around and like he actually likes her for real, or the dildo girl.
Victoria, there's just no way.
Yeah, he just
like she feels like a producer pick, which
exactly.
Like I watched his like little interview on Jimmy Kimmel right after, and he said that she wasn't, and I said, okay, but I don't believe that, Matt. Like I just don't believe that. My dog.
I mean, at that point, you have like 17 other girls that you're definitely into. So what's one that you could throw away? Like, which is messed up to say, but that's kind of how it's working.
It is how it works.
Yeah. But yeah. So where are we at?
I guess like we're at. I mean, was there any other like limo entrances that you wanted to talk about, or do you want to just hop to the? I mean,
obviously, I just kind of like wanted my standouts. I don't really enjoy this episode either because I feel like. A lot of it is on the craziness of it all. So you don't really sometimes see like the good girls that are going to be like standing out here in an episode or two. But the ones that actually did stand out to me was obviously the girl who ends up getting the first impression rose, Abigail, because she's beautiful, but like I just love everything about her, and she definitely stood out to me. Definitely first impression rose worthy. You don't really hear that often, you know what I'm saying? So, and then also, what's that other girl? Rachel. The girl, she's this beautiful girl. She like was connecting with him.
Yes.
Oh my God, dude, she's so pretty. So those are like definitely my two that I'm going for right now. And obviously, as like episodes come on, we're gonna see some like there's a lot of beautiful women on that show.
Yeah, I have to say like this season is definitely more diverse than usual. You
got a girl from Ethiopia.
We've got Maggie from Ethiopia who came here as like with a visa lottery win. That's how she got here, which is incredible. She's like one of the most gorgeous humans I've ever seen. There's definitely a lot of like very gorgeous women of color.
Untraditional bachelor contestants. That's what I would say. You don't see some of these contestants you've never seen before. Like, embracing other types of black women, not just your, and just one type of black woman, and that's like really nice to see. And not just black women, but there's all different races there now. Like, it's not like you just have your token Asian girl. There's like two types of Asian girls now. Like,
yeah, for real.
All this different stuff. So it's interesting. Girls, you can't even tell what their like race is and stuff. And
yes, very racially ambiguous, which I feel like is definitely like a safe move by ABC, because it's like we don't have to inherently say that they're black or whatever, but they like look ethnic.
Yeah.
So that was that. But moving into the cocktail party, I feel like there was barely, honestly, like watching it, I felt like the cocktail party was pretty low key. Like, yeah, Victoria bumped it, like stole him a couple of times. Katie stole him from Mari, who was saying a sad story about like the hurricanes and stuff in Puerto Rico, and tapped her on the shoulder with her vibrator. I hope she disinfected that bitch. Like, that's all I can say.
I hope it's not even used. I hope it's like a brand new, like, I don't know why they kept saying that. Like, I'm like, this bitch better have just busted that like out of the packaging in the limo. It's not coming from her house, because I don't give a shit if you wipe that down. Like, this is Corona. This shit is real, man. Like, but no, yeah, no. And I agree. Like, it was very lackluster, but I also think that it's because, all his responses were pretty like lame. Like, he's just like, yeah, Like, everything was just kind of like, yeah, I feel that.
I feel like he was just so overwhelmed, and because they did spend a large portion like doing the like, race talk with Chris Harrison, which like Chris Harrison is like the last person I would think to have a race talk with. But I definitely feel like we definitely cut out like some more of the petty drama, because there was two girls who were wearing the same exact dress, who they were standing one right in front of each other in the rose ceremony portion. One of them was Anna, the Chicago girl. The other one I literally don't know because I didn't see her face for most of it. But they both like, that's usually such a common thing, is that they bring up the fucking dresses, which is like such a petty, dumb filler thing. So I'm kind of happy that they didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
But I felt like they definitely didn't have a lot of time. And even the girls felt like they didn't have a lot of time with him. Like most of them didn't get to talk to him, which is something we've discussed with our good pal, compadre, Kelly Johns, about how like that's such a problem that they're like not giving like everybody a chance to talk to him.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, I think the most interesting thing that came out of this episode for me was kind of the ending, to see how they kept, like, the twist of bringing in more people, like,
I am surprised that they're going to do that they're going to bring in more girls, and including,
And it looked
Heather.
like the diversity was even more. Like, it was like, they were bringing in, like, so, like, when you just see, like, you're like, these are all Bachelorette girls. Like, this season really, like, I mean, I guess this is what Bachelorette girls look like now, but like you would never see like this person on this show, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like, they did it in Claire's season, or for Taisha.
Well, yeah, they brought in more guys for Tasha because like she was already getting like a smaller pool.
Yeah.
Smaller pool of men.
Yeah, and secondhand men.
Secondhand men.
Yeah. We're all someone's secondhand though, man. Or woman, whatever. But secondhand man. You know what I mean.
Anyways, but it looks like, they're going to be bringing in the fact that they're bringing in Heather from Colton season, who's friends with Hannah, who we talked about a couple weeks ago as her being like predicted as coming on. And it
looks
seems
like they had like a little flirtiness happen pre-show.
It seems like, yeah, they've already like, because I'm pretty sure Hannah tried to set Heather up with Matt before.
Right.
Like, I think that's kind of that vibe. So I feel like the other girls are really gonna like hate on her because
maybe they had like a little makeout session before or something.
Probably. So that will be interesting. My one little fun fact is that one of the contestants, Sarah, who's the broadcast girl who moved home to live with her dad, who's battling ALS, went to Mizzou, is sorority sisters with one of my best friends, and I'm almost positive she was probably one of my residents when I was an RA. Like, almost positive. Like, I'm almost positive she lived in my building.
She's beautiful. I think she's gonna go far. I thought she was going to get the first impression rose. One of the girls I thought might have gotten it. But not that I saw anything that was most impressive besides the fact that she just impressive herself. But she has like a Sofia Vergara like look to her or something. Her face like kind of like.
It's like her eyes kind of have like the same little like they kind of like cat eye. It's just like kind of like.
Oh, there's another beautiful girl there too. Oh my goodness, there's so many. I know I'm going to switch up my favorites next week. It always happens. But off the bat, those are my Rachel and Abigail, who got the first impression rose. So congratulations.
I do love Abigail, and Abigail is deaf, which I think is great to see more like, diversity in like skin color and background is great. But I think like seeing more like different ability people is like also very important on the show, because this show tends to be very like ableistic at times. And I think it's going to be interesting to have someone like her, because like the last time I feel like I saw anybody with a different ability on this show was
that girl
Sarah
with no arm.
Yeah, Sarah Hare. And so I think it'll be interesting, to see, especially because like there's Deaf U was really big on Netflix over quarantine. Like just the perceptions around deaf people.
I thought it was an interesting dynamic that she laid out about her, like her sister being the first one to go through it, and like how she grew up being deaf, and just like really seeing her older sister go through it. So she really didn't have like the difficulties, like, it's like her sister probably already went through all like whatever the dumb bullying is, or like whatever's like like, she just learned things first, so she just got to learn it secondhand, like as a younger sister. So I thought that was an interesting aspect to it too, and also very beautiful. So yeah, I mean, I guess in we got any other Bachelor news to let our listeners know about?
Yeah, Pilot Pete and Kelly are broken up. They're done.
I meant to do that, but whatever. I think they both apply.
Well, and I guess some of it has
Pete's
to do with.
I saw like a side by side of Pete next to Matt, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I cannot believe
Peter is like. And part of the reason why they broke up is because they're at different places in their life, and like she really like they were gonna move in.
She's got her shit going, and he don't.
Yeah, literally. Like she was like they were gonna move in together and to New York and like do whatever. And I guess like he wasn't really ready to settle down. I'm like, and they said that he was like,
regret it.
Different like articles are all like Peter isn't ready to just be with one girl. I'm like, how is he pulling all these women?
Because he was a bachelor. That's the thing. It's like it's. I feel like it's a rock and a hard place for a Bachelor lead, because you're pretty much put on this pedestal of being one of the hottest guys of the moment, and then there is a bunch of girls out there that will want to be with that. And then you're also like in this hard place of do you want to be within the franchise and love like all these other people? That's why people, stay together and married and have kids even if they're unhappy, and then 4 years later they're getting divorced. And we saw it coming, because it's like y'all are just doing it for like the Bachelor Nation fans and stuff. You're doing it so you can come back on the show or be like looked at as like a success. Like, y'all are losers. Like, and not Kelly. Kelly is actually like hot as hell. Like, I would have picked her from the beginning.
Well, I mean, like Kelly was the one that we thought he should have like kept longer. Like she was like she just had it going on. Like she knew where she stood, she knew who she was, and like whatever. And he was like fucking around with like the Victoria F's of the world. Like so, like he just
you
messed
can't blame
up.
him for that.
I think we can.
Oh man, Victoria F is the shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, she's one that I like her posts. It's funny. But anyways, why don't we get into our that's all we got, right?
That's all we got.
Why don't we get into our slapper of the week? I'm not gonna lie, V. Couldn't find one. It was really hard.
There's not a lot of good new music out, really. No. I'll be honest. Like I haven't like heard like I have been because I even was like looking back through like the new music Friday or the new music. I'm like, not a lot.
Nothing. And I would have been. So this one is kind of just like, I wouldn't say a throwaway because it's a very, very good song. But this one right here has been out for a little while. If I'm guessing it would probably be on the radio because it's one of those radio type songs. But I like it. It's really good. I actually didn't hear it from the radio. I heard it because Charlie Puth posted it in his IG story. So when he does that, I'm like, oh shit, one of my favorite producers likes this song. Let me go check it out. And this was the song. So
because you're the biggest fanboy for Charlie Puth, so you're like, anything, Charlie.
You took it way too far. I don't know why you had to take it there, but anyways, the song is called "Without You" and it's by Kid LAROI. Or is that how you would say it?
I think it's Kid LAROI. Okay. I think that's it.
Well, our slapper of the week, "Without You" by Kid LAROI. Without further ado, let's go.
Slapper of the week.
This song slaps.
Slapper!
Without you.
Yeah, slapper of the week, "Without You" by the Kid LAROI. Without you. Without you.
Yeah, that song, I know it better from TikTok, and they've made a lot of remixes of it where like they do like "Can't Wait Make a Wife Out of a White Man" like from New Girl, or just like different stuff like, or out of like a Republican, like it's just all these different ones. So it's pretty funny to see how people have been using that sound all over.
Do you have any shout outs this week? Anybody you want to shout out?
I wanted to shout out our fellow guests, fellow hosts of New Year's Eve, and just all of us for celebrating together. That was fun. And then, I wanted to shout out all the people that helped organize in Georgia to get people to the polls and help stop voter suppression, because we out here in this bit.
That's what's up. Well, I want to give a shout out to AJ Allen Davis Jr. for coming up here and visiting me. And
Yes.
also Jackson, who came to visit from New York. He came down actually to help with some of the election stuff. So he was out all day yesterday.
That's awesome.
And shout out to him for coming. We've had a great time. I love you, bro. And then also wanted to give a shout out to all you guys for hosting New Year's Eve. Like, who was it? It was Zach, Veronica, Manon, Lexa. You guys are the shit. Thank you so much for doing that. I had a great New Year. So, yeah. Well, guys, keeping it short and sweet for this episode. First episode of New Year.
Keeping it real in this bitch.
Just kind of, a little something for you guys. Catch us this year. We're going to be trying to go for bigger guests on the show. Veronica, I've already been pushing her to like reach out to the big dogs. But I don't know, like it's so random, like the people we can get on this show. Like, I would love to get anybody from any type of reality shows or, anything. So if you guys have any suggestions of guests or you think there'd be a perfect guest for the show, it could be your friend, somebody that would be perfect for it. Just let us know. Reach out to us, either me or Veronica on the Future Bachelor Instagram. And how was your Tipsy Talks this week with everything?
It was great. I enjoyed them. People were loving them. I got a lot of love in the chat. So, I love interacting with you guys when I do my Tipsy Talks. It's good to know that other people think the way that I do about this show, because we all know I take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
So keep on keeping on. And all those are saved as highlights. So even if you want to go back and see a couple of Tayshia's or things like that in our Instagram, The Future Bachelor, it's all there.
Word.
So.
Well, any plans for the weekend? You got anything fun locked in?
No, not really. I don't really know. I think I might be like playing some games with a couple of friends on Friday, and then I might do my vision boards this weekend. Unsure. That might be the vibe.
Well, that's what's up. I'm trying to catch those the botanical gardens, the lights out there and stuff before they go away. I never
before they go away. They're beautiful. It's a fun time.
I like to wait till afterwards. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do, and maybe some other fun stuff. So I'll let you know next week, guys. But this has been it, the first episode of the new year. Thank you guys for sticking with us for the years, and we're gonna keep going.
Celebrating our 3rd anniversary with us.
Give us one more round of applause. All right, guys, this has been our episode. We love you guys. This has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And we'll catch you next week, all right? Deuces!
Bye!
Future Bachelor Podcast.